Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Final Challenger. And tell by title and the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about Misfits 9, because yes, Misfits 9 has just been announced. So we all know the Prime card is coming up with KSI versus Tommy Fury, Logan Paul versus Dylan Danis, and some of the undercard, a lot of the undercard, actually the whole undercard, still needs to be announced. But we know that's coming on up in October. But that's Misfits 10. We didn't get an announcement for Misfits 9 until now. And now Misfits 9 has been announced, the main event has been announced, and the entire undercard has been announced by Mams Taylor in an interview. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to look over the card, we're going to name out the fights, see what it's like, because he did say this is kind of like a filler card to the Prime card. It's going to have nothing on the Prime card, we know that. We accept that. KSI's not going to be on it, Logan's not going to be on it, so Poppy ain't going to be on it or anything like that. They're probably just going to stack the Prime card, and this is kind of just one of these things that's like, right, here's a bit of Misfits boxing to keep you entertained in the meantime. Then we move on to the Prime card. But we're going to go through the fights and we're going to see what we think. So first up, first fight of the night, we got Carla Jade versus Tash Weekender. Then we got Pulley Iraf versus Small Spartan J. Pulley Iraf, I do think, fought Dean the Great, and he lost. So he's one that's been here before. He's about to fight again. Then we got AJ Bunker versus Little Belzy. And I think they said this is actually for a title fight. Little Belzy, if I do remember, I think she lost her last fight, if she's the right one I'm thinking of. AJ Bunker, I know, fought Elle Brooke, lost to Elle Brooke in a close decision, and then fought whatever the hell you call it, Astrid Wet or something like that. And I think lost Astrid Wet in a close decision. But AJ Bunker's good fighter. She's back again. I think this is going to be for a woman's title. I'm pretty sure Mom said. I'm not too sure, but I think they said it might be for a woman's title, this one. So that'll be good. Then after that, we got Colin Izzard versus OJ Rose. Simba versus Master Uguay. Gabriel Silva versus Ben Davis. Now, Gabriel Silva is actually Anderson Silva's son. He has boxed. He has made a pro debut. I don't know how many fights he has, but I know he did make his pro debut, I think, last year, late last year, mid last year. So he's actually Anderson Silva's son, so it's going to be good, because I haven't actually watched his fights. I just know he did make his debut, and now he's coming over to Misfits, so that's going to be an entertaining one to watch, so I can't wait for that. Then next up, we got Ashley Rak-Su versus Halal Ham. Now, this fight, I don't know. I feel like this fight is a massive mismatch, but it is what it is, I guess. Ashley Rak-Su obviously coming off the win against... Did he fight after Kenny? I actually can't remember. I think the last time he fought was against Kenny. If I'm right, he fought against Kenny. He beat Kenny and created a big upset. We got Halal Ham. Halal Ham's last fight was actually against Ginty, who's also on this card. Was against Ginty, and neither of them fought. I think that was his last fight, I'm not sure. But I know that neither of them actually threw punches. And it was an absolute snooze fest. Worst fight of the night. And Mams Taylor was very vocal about it and said, if you do not get in there and actually fight, which is what you're being paid to do, you won't be back. So Halal Ham is back. Ashley Rak-Su is back. I think this is an easy fight for Ashley Rak-Su personally. Halal Ham, I think, has fought countless times. I think he's won maybe about twice. So I think Ashley Rak-Su has quite an easy fight here, but you never know. Halal Ham might actually upset him. You never know in the sport of boxing, and especially in Misfits. Then we move on to the co-main event. It is the return of FaZe Temper versus Ginty. That is right. Like I said, Ginty has returned. Ginty obviously fought Halal Ham. Bit of a snooze face, but his thing saying to Mams Taylor was, everybody I've fought, I've made them touch the ground. He even fought JMX, and although JMX beat him convincingly, he did knock over JMX. It was a slip, but it was a knockdown. He connected, he fell over, and he said, I've knocked down everybody I've fought, so give me one more chance. Obviously, FaZe Temper, you know, he beat King Kenny. He was looking like one of the best fighters on Misfits. Then he got KO'd by Slim. Then he got KO'd by KSI. And he's been off for a bit. But FaZe Temper, Tommy Temper, decided this is not the way I want to go out. I want to come back. I want to take this all the way. And I want to box again. And he's back. And I do think this is another mismatch, in my opinion. I think, looking at both of them, although Temper has been knocked out twice, I do believe Temper should win this fight. Ginty could upset it. I don't think it's as big of a mismatch as the Ashley Rak-Su and the Halal Ham fight. I think that's more of an upset if Halal Ham wins. But this fight, it could be interesting, you know what I mean? Ginty, he's not the most flashy fighter, but he has knocked everybody down that he has faced, like he said. Temper has proven that he may not have the greatest chin, so if Ginty catches him, we could actually see an upset here, and we might see Temper get knocked out for the third time, or Temper might come back on smoke and absolutely smoke Ginty and get back into the winning bracket and decide, right, I want you, and start calling out people. So I'm excited for FaZe Temper's return. Then we move on to the main event of the evening. We got Idris Virgo versus Aaron Chalmers. Now, Idris Virgo, obviously, good buddy of KSI. I think he was trying to fight Tommy Fury as well, but he's the main event here. Aaron Chalmers, if I am correct, I believe he did fight Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition, I'm pretty sure, and I also believe he fought on the Kingpin against, I can't remember his name, I'm very bad with names, but I think he fought him, he lost in the Kingpin one, but if he's the fighter that I'm thinking of, that fight was one hell of a fight. That was a nice boxing clinic where they both just tucked up. They both landed some nice ass combos. Both did damage to each other. Both boxed very nicely and put on a fucking show. So if that's the same guy I'm thinking of, 100%, I'm happy to see him back because he was very nice with it. Obviously, he did lose the fight, but it was a very, very good fight, very competitive fight as well. And although the guy did win, and I do believe although I say competitive fight, the guy did convincingly win a little bit. This guy held his own, he hit some nice combos, did a lot of piecing together, so I'm excited to see him back. Idris Virgo, I've only ever seen him fight once, I have at least, against Anthony Taylor. He wasn't able to put Anthony Taylor away, but he did show the skill gap, so he was able to outbox him the whole way. So that's a good fight. So looking at this entire card, what fights am I the most excited for? The Idris Virgo versus Aaron Chalmers, I'm excited for that fight. FaZe Temper versus Ginty, I am excited for it. I'm more excited for FaZe Temper's return than to watch him versus Ginty. You know what I mean? I'm just more excited for it. Ashley Rak-Su, I'm excited to see him back. I want to see what else he has to offer. I know he wanted the Saul Poppy fight. I don't think he should take a Saul Poppy fight because he's not on the level of Saul Poppy just yet. I'm not saying he could never be. You never know. People can surprise you. But he should not take that Saul Poppy fight yet. But if he keeps winning, he's going to get bigger paydays. He's going to get better opponents. And who knows, Ashley Rak-Su could go far in the YouTube boxing game. You never know. That's the thing with boxing. Anybody can make it if you just land the right punches. Like, you could literally be losing every fight and land the right punch every time and win every fight. It is literally one punch changes all. And in the YouTube boxing scene, anything can fucking happen. So you never know. AJ Bunker, I'm happy to see her back. She's quite a good fighter. I'm happy to see that. There is a couple of other fights that would be entertaining. I'm happy to kind of see Iraf back. That'll be a good one. Happy to see Anderson Silva's son. That'll be a good one. But I know this is going to divide. I know this event is probably going to have a lot of support and a lot of hate, much like other events. This event is probably going to be like the JMX versus Livian Bell one, where some people are interested, some people's not. But I think the main thing is, I think this is a good card, personally. I think it's a good card. There's obviously people who haven't boxed for it. There's Simba, who made a song with KSI, and there's Master Uguay, which I just remember being on TikTok, and he kind of does the voice of the turtle from Kung Fu Panda and does sayings and shit. So those two have never boxed before, but that'll probably be a proper like YouTube boxing fight where there's no technique and they just go for it, which I'm all for. But I think the biggest issue with this is a lot of people are gonna have an issue with the pro boxing side of it, and I have seen a few people in the comments already say we don't want pro boxing, we want YouTube boxing. Obviously, there's YouTube boxing fights in this card, but the Anderson Silva, like his son fight, Gabriel Silva, that's not a YouTube boxing event. The main event is not a YouTube boxing fight. The Colin Izzard versus OJ Rose, that's not really a YouTube boxing fight. So it's like, I know a lot of people are probably going to have a bit of an issue with it because they want YouTube boxing. But I think we also have to look at it like this. I think it's a good card personally. Not because it has massive YouTube personalities on it, but I think it's good. It's good matchups. Obviously, Temper versus Ginty. Is it the most hype fight? No, but Temper's coming back. Ginty, obviously, he might surprise us. Halal Ham versus Ashley Rak-Su. Halal Ham's been on like every fucking card. Ashley Rak-Su's back, so that's good. Obviously, Anderson Silva's son's fight. So it's like, it is a good couple fights. I think they're going to be good fights. I think it's going to be good matchups. I do think we might see some knockouts on this card, which we haven't actually seen a good lot of knockouts in a while. Saw a poll on Instagram saying that the first ever Misfits event had the highest knockout ratio. So hopefully we get a lot of knockouts anyway. But either way, I think it's a good card. I understand people may not want the pro boxing, but the way I view it is, yes, we're getting a bit of pro boxing on this, but we're also getting a little bit of YouTube. You got to understand, not every YouTuber wants to box, so you're not just going to have piles and piles and piles of YouTubers getting on here, especially YouTubers that are actually going to bring eyes to the sport and put asses in seats. That's what it's all about. It's a business more than a sport. At the end of the day, if you're not bringing eyes, they don't want to sign you, they don't want to pay you because you're not making them money. And the Prime card's coming up. So you got the KSI fight, you got the Logan Paul fight. I've heard that I believe Salt Poppy is on that card. I think they said Deji might be on that card. So the Prime card's sounding like it's going to be absolutely stacked. That it's going to be like 2 or 3 events mixed into one. So I think we can accept a little filler event, get a little bit of pro boxing here, show off a little bit of skill while having a couple of YouTube fights. That's the way I feel it. I don't think it's too bad. He did say it is a little bit of a filler event because it's not going to live up to the Prime card, but I still think it's a good card. I'm going to be watching, and it's not pay-per-view. That's the thing. They're not charging you for it. The KSI one's pay-per-view because that's KSI, that's Logan Paul, Tommy Fury, that's Dylan Dennis. But this one is not pay-per-view, which means if you have a DAZN subscription, you get it for free, which is very good. They always do that with the ones that are not KSI related, which I think is very good. They also apparently, I'm not sure if this is right, but Wild Sharks versus Dean the Great 2 might be on the Prime card. I have no clue. Rumors, we never know, but this is a good event in my opinion. I want to know what your opinions are down below. I've probably rambled on a little bit, but that's my opinion overall. Let me know your opinions down below. Are you excited for this event? Are you not excited? You know, are you happy enough with having a couple pro boxing fights, knowing that the Prime card's coming up, or do you still want YouTube boxing strictly fights? Because I think it's nice when it mixes. I enjoy pro boxing, but if I want to watch pro boxing, I'll go watch pro boxing. If I'm watching a YouTube event, I want to see YouTube boxing, but I don't mind a little pro fight here and there because it's nice to just see good technical boxing skill, and I think that's good. But let me know in the comments down below your opinions anyway. But that is Misfits 09 that has been announced for the 23rd of September. So literally coming up, I would say next month, but tomorrow's next month. So it's very, very soon, couple weeks away. And honestly, I'm excited for it as I always am. But like I said, let me know your opinions. Hope you all are thinking positive and test negative. Hope you all have an amazing day, amazing week, and amazing week. And without further ado, this was another video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. So, peace.